Hello, hockey fans. The Minnesota Hockey Connection is on the air. We're on the air for the next half hour. I'm Kenny Kelliger, along with Jerry Burrow. And Jerry, I don't know what camera to look at. I got that camera, that camera, that camera. Oh, the one with the light on. Okay.
There's three of them.
New and improved set here at PACT-TV, and it's awesome. And we're privileged to be a part of it. A lot of hockey to talk about. Division III is underway. St. Scholastica started out with a loss at Aurora, got a nice win at Forest Lake, 3-1. And now the Saints will be home Friday, November 9th to take on Concordia, Wisconsin, who tied Finlandia, by the way.
Wow.
And Milwaukee School of Engineering, that'll be Saturday the 10th. And the big game will be St. Scholastica and UWS at Mars Lakeview Arena, 7 o'clock Tuesday, November 20th.
Wow. There you go.
It's always been a good rivalry, those two
D3.
schools. Yeah.
I was just checking on the men's side. There's finally got some Minnesota kids at St. Scholastica. They were so loaded with Canadians. They have 10 Minnesota kids.
Well,
and 4 local kids.
Yeah, you got Freilich from Marshall.
Right. They got McKenzie from...
Is it Dean? What's his name?
Jordan.
Jordan Freilich?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they got Chris McKenzie. Then they got Nate Piant.
Yeah.
And they got another Hermantown kid. I forget his name right now. But they got 4 Northerns and they got 6 others. So they got 10 Minnesota kids. That's good.
It is.
And then Superior, I looked at theirs. They're about the same now. They still only have 3. But one of them is a local boy. We got, what's his name? Alex Spencer.
Okay.
Big Alex. He played for Duluth East. So we got some local flair in there.
You know, Jared, it's been a long time. You got to go back to 76, 77, 78, and I think the Saints won back-to-back championships. I know they have 2 in their.
Yeah, I think Gary Harker was the coach then.
At
UWS at that time.
I meant, I'm sorry, St. Scholastica.
Oh yeah,
St. Scholastica.
I remember Mike Randolph came in there.
Del Generu.
Yeah, but then he got Mike in there, and Del stopped, and they had another guy coach, but story is, I guess he didn't know hockey as much as some of the assistants.
Yeah.
And so the assistants kind of ran the team.
Yeah, one of the players on that St. Scholastica championship team, Wild Bill Irwin, the wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's a bus driver a lot of times for Duluth East.
Yeah, Wild Bill was a member of that Scholastica team. Did they win back-to-back?
I don't know if they won back-to-back. I wasn't around then. So.
Okay, all right. You were around. You just
I
weren't
was in
around.
California.
You weren't around here.
I was around the hockey hotbed of the United States,
You were
California.
Out surfing.
Rollerblades came in.
There you go. But St. Scholastica, they've been around for a long time, and they're due for a championship up there, and I would love to see them do it real soon. They've had some good teams, but Bulldogs, we didn't get our Bulldog fix this weekend because they were taking the weekend off.
Yeah, but they got 2 big weekends with the Colorado teams. They got Colorado College coming in this Friday, Saturday, and they're a much improved team. Much improved.
That might be, but I am not anticipating a letdown this weekend by the Bulldogs.
They had that week off.
They did, but this
might help though if they had a little.
This is a young team that's hungry, that's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Number 1 in the coaches poll.
Right. Well, now it's conference play though. These are big games now.
It was interesting. We had talked last week about Omaha. The Mavericks hadn't won a game. Well, they get into the win column.
Yeah.
An 0-6-1 start. They beat Miami 6-3. And 2 weeks prior to that, Arizona State swept Omaha. Arizona State,
And
Jerry. And they split this weekend with top-ranked, pairwise top-ranked, Penn State at University Park in Pennsylvania. And their first top 10 victory for the Sun Devils. First time they ever beat a top 10 team, and both games were 1-goal games.
And guess what? They're 21st in college polls. So if they get up one more, they're in the top 20.
You know, I'm so glad that this happened because I knew that Penn State was not a number 1 team. And here they were in pairwise ranked number 1, and then Arizona State beats them. And I'm not going to take nothing away from Arizona State.
No,
but,
they've been playing pretty good hockey, though, so far this year.
You know, it's, yeah, so North Dakota swept Wisconsin over the weekend. Friday night, 5-0, and then a 3-2 overtime victory on Saturday. But how about Minnesota State? They swept the Minnesota Gophers.
Yeah, I was there Friday night, man. That was...
Well, that was 5-1.
Yeah. The shots were pretty close, but I'll tell you the difference. Minnesota State, they just attacked that puck. There's no room. I mean, if you're not moving your feet, you don't have a chance against this team because they just go after that puck. And one-on-one battles, they're like UMD started the year now. They seem to like that puck, and one-on-one battles, they do pretty good. And, hey, I like this team.
Minnesota State.
Yes, I like this
The
team.
other Mavericks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a kid there's two kids from Germany on that first line.
Two
Yes.
kids from Germany?
Yeah, one
Are they
is-
brothers?
Nope. One is Parker Toomey. And here's a small story. One of the elite league coaches for the Northwest team is the uncle of Parker Toomey. And I tell you what, this kid is for real. I think he's leading the nation, or he's in the top 3 in
Well,
scoring.
when I hear Toomey, I think of former Bulldog Sean
no,
Toomey.
no, it's spelled
Okay.
different.
Oh, okay.
But
All right.
it sounds the same.
Sure.
Yeah, he comes from Germany. And his dad coached this team that comes in and plays the Minnesota teams at the Elite League and International Invite. And this year, his dad went to a pro team over in Germany to coach. But he was coaching that. But this kid is the real deal. I like him. He's not big. They say he's 5'10" and 185. He might be 185 because he's all muscle. But I know he's not 5'10" because I'm bigger than him.
And that's Minnesota State.
Yeah. But
Well, who's this
kid,
other German kid?
Mickelson.
How does that happen? You don't get two German kids on a Minnesota State college hockey team?
They got the German recruiting, Guten Tag line.
Okay, all right. Well, that's
Guten Tag.
intriguing.
Come to
Interesting.
Minnesota and play hockey.
Yeah. Well, UMD Bulldogs have something that they don't have, and we got a pair of brothers, the Cates brothers here, and they're
That's right.
they're performing pretty well.
Yeah, for freshmen. And I tell you what, it's going to be interesting because I'm going to be out in Denver the week after this. And Denver's number 5 in the nation. And, boy, that can be a good series. UMD going out to Denver on, I think they're...
16th, 17th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a big series. Last year I was out there when 1 and 2, St. Cloud State and Denver went at it.
All right.
And that last year's, the coaches didn't like each other.
Yeah. Well, the Bulldogs, where are we at? We're 6-1-1 on the season so far, and this weekend will be the first conference action that we'll see with Colorado College.
Right. And I think that, do we have Thanksgiving week off, I think, don't we?
Thanksgiving week? Yes.
And then we have North Dakota coming in. So we got 3 big series. So the next 6 games, we'll find out the real deal.
Yeah,
with
North
UMD.
Dakota will be here the next 2 months, November 30th and December 1st.
There you go. I like that part.
So the Bulldogs, a weekend off, but they maintain their number 1 ranking. Didn't win, didn't lose. Any surprises over the weekend other than maybe Minnesota State sweeping the Gophers 5-1 Friday, 2-1 on Saturday?
Well, let's see. What did I have on St. Cloud State beat Colorado? They swept them.
They beat Colorado?
Colorado College. Okay. And Bemidji State won.
Who'd they beat?
They beat Alaska.
Okay.
And hey, the local boys doing good up there in Bemidji State. Aaron Miller from Superior. He played for the Wilderness and the juniors up here in
Oh,
Cloquet.
yeah. Where did he play high school?
Superior.
He
Yeah,
did? Okay,
yeah.
okay.
He stayed with school. He could have went to juniors and that, but he stayed at Superior and played his senior year.
All right.
And no, the kid, I know the family story, and the kids went through a rough life and that.
Okay.
And good for him. He's got his stuff together, and he's playing good up there.
Good.
And he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
He's got in the first 4 games, he's got 4 points already, and so it's good for him.
Yeah.
Good for a local kid to do good. And what else do we have here? Let's see. Minnesota and Wisconsin play each other this week, and that used to be one of the biggest series. You know,
Well,
you couldn't get a ticket at either place.
Yeah.
And now
It's fizzled.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know if it's because of the Big Ten.
Well, they're both Big Ten schools. That hasn't changed over the years.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just, like you said, it fizzled.
Huh.
Once the Gophers went to that Big Ten, and maybe seat charges too with that, and going to starting a new league, people don't like changes.
Yeah.
And it happened, but this year, I mean, the Big Ten has a lot of good teams. They got Ohio State and Notre Dame joined them for hockey only. But the Michigan's good, Penn State's good.
Penn State's not good. Don't be fooled.
You don't like that?
No, that's...
You're not even in...
Jerry, they lost to Arizona.
What do they have?
Come on.
They're number 8 still.
You're not a number 1 pairwise team.
Oh, no, that's not even
and
close.
lose to Arizona.
We said that last year. No.
Well, you know, it is what it is. I'm being a little facetious, perhaps, but...
But there's a lot of good teams in the Big Ten, too, though. In the past years, there wasn't.
You know, I saw that Notre Dame was on NBC Sports Network again, and I thought, uh-oh, this is going to become a regular thing where we're going to have Notre Dame.
NBC owns them. Or does Notre Dame own NBC?
Well, somebody owns somebody.
Because all their football games are on NBC.
Yeah, this
because
is
they got
NBC's
a contract that's only school.
Well, there you go. And they played, did they split with Ohio State this weekend?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are they in the rankings? Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is number 6.
All right.
They dropped down 1 spot. And Denver moved up 3.
You know, I didn't mention this the weekend the Bulldogs played Notre Dame, but the Duluth News Tribune had a headline, UMD beats Notre Dame in a championship rematch or whatever. And I thought, no, this isn't a championship rematch or title game rematch. That's not what this is. A title game rematch is meeting them again in the title game.
Right.
So I don't know where they got that headline, but I failed to mention it.
The 2 teams that played in the championship game are playing this weekend. No, I don't know.
You know, I mean, to say that this is a rematch after UMD beat them in the championship game to end the season, but a rematch of the championship game, totally wrong. But
yep, I think you're right.
Yeah, I saw the headline and I thought, no. This isn't worded right here, guys. Come on, what are you doing?
Come on, you're going to talk to Matt.
Okay, college hockey, we're going to work our way up to the big boys. High school hockey, what's going on with high school?
Well, as you know, a week from today, high school hockey starts practice, and this past weekend they had they call it the International Invite Tournament down in New Hope, and so they have 2 all-star teams.
International?
Yeah, because they bring teams in from Canada, Germany. And they have a team, Shattuck. Shattuck won the whole thing.
Did they?
Yes. They have an all-star team from Tier 1 all over the United States. Mm-hmm. They had the Michigan Elite League all-star team. They had, who else came in there? But it was, there's some good teams. But like I said, Shattuck came in there.
How long has this been going on?
They've been having an international tournament right after the Elite League ends every year for as long as I can remember.
Jeez, okay.
They called it different before. They used to call it CCM International.
All right.
But now it's an International Invite.
Sure.
So whatever. But now they're having only thing left before the high school season starts is this Prospect Invite. Minnesota Hockey's putting this on. I'm kind of leery about it because these kids played 9 weeks now, and most of them played 3 games every weekend. Mm-hmm. They're kind of burnt out. Most of them should have a rest for a week, and then before they start.
What is this doing?
They're trying to get scouts and that, but all these scouts and recruiters saw all these kids through the Elite League. There's always 60 to 100 scouts at these games during the Elite League. They're all there. So
are these kids, is this a required?
Just 2 Minnesota
Is this a required
teams.
turnout? What if some of these kids forego it?
A lot of them have already.
Okay.
A lot of the top kids have done it.
Yeah.
already. There's
You know, Jared, without really knowing all the details, I agree with you. These are high school kids.
but they've been doing this all season.
And they had this arduous 9 weeks, you said?
Yeah.
Let them be kids for a while until the start of their season.
I mean, some of these kids are burnt out, really.
Yeah.
Because they have to travel.
They
have to go down there and then play 2 games on one day, and then one, especially the North and the Great Plains out in the Northwest.
Wow.
They got to travel a lot.
Oh, boy.
And most of their games are down in the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's hard.
Yeah, they never went through nothing like that.
And I don't know if it's a money thing, try to get some money. And they said they sent out letters to all the recruiters and scouts. Well, I don't know. I'm going to talk to some and see if they're even going to show up.
Okay, so high school, when do the captains' practices start?
Oh, the captain's practice have been going on
Okay,
for 2-3 weeks.
Okay.
But the regular practice, the high school coaches can start with their teams next Monday.
Next Monday.
And we're going to start having in all our high school coaches in the area. I already talked to Denfield. We'll get Mike Randolph from Duluth East, and we'll get the coach that's taken over Brendan Flaherty's place this year.
At Marshall,
because of him being sick.
Yeah.
And we'll have him come in. And
what's the latest on Brendan?
he just says that because of all the things he's went through, he's tired and
is he home?
A lot of yeah, he's home, but
Okay.
a lot of medication, you know.
He's out of the
He's just not
hospital.
100% with all that.
Oh
medication
no, yeah,
and
yeah,
that.
yeah. But I know he was in the hospital for an
Yeah.
extended period. He's out.
Right.
He's home. Good.
Yeah, he's home. We'll stay up with that. And,
No, when is the jamboree?
Jamboree is a week from 2 weeks from tomorrow.
2 weeks from tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 6th, and so we're going with the 20th. Tuesday
Yes,
the 20th.
There you go.
Okay.
And they'll have all the Lake Superior Conference teams there.
Yeah. We're taping on Monday, November 5th, and the Minnesota Wild are, 3 games into a 7-game road trip. They've got a 2-1 start. They lost at Vancouver 5-2, had a nice win up in Edmonton 5-3, took a couple days off, actually 3 days off. And boy, what a win at St. Louis on Saturday night, a record breaker. Minnesotan Nick Seeler gets his first NHL goal.
Right.
Defenseman Greg Patterin tied a franchise record with a +5 rating.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
3-4 other players that have done it. Jared Spurgeon, and really not any, I can't even think of who else it was. Did it?
JT Brown scored his first goal as a Wild player.
On a breakaway. Nice goal.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah. And Eric Stahl got his 400th goal in that 5-1 win at St. Louis. He is the 96th player in NHL history to reach that plateau. And I got to thinking, my goodness, this game has been played for 100 years. And there's not even been 100 players to get 400 goals. Quite an achievement, and not too bad for a kid from Thunder Bay.
Huh. That's
400
amazing.
goals.
Yeah.
So, and that all happened in the same game. Nick Seeler's first goal is a pro. Greg Patterin, 5+ rating. Eric Stahl, 400th goal. And JT Brown, his first goal as a Minnesota Wild.
Well, we know that the Wild over the last year and the start of this season has the best home record of any team.
I think they're undefeated at home.
No, they've lost last year. I mean,
Oh,
games,
okay.
But I'm
Okay.
talking last year into
right.
this year.
All right.
But going on the road, they won 2 out of 3. If they can do 2 out of 3, they're going to win the conference.
Well, this is 3 games of a 7-game
I know,
road
I
trip.
know, but
And,
they can just be above 500 in this road trip. So
Yeah.
they got to win 2 out of the next 4.
Now, Tuesday night, they'll be at San Jose. Thursday night, they'll play at Los Angeles. And they beat the Kings here in St. Paul 4-1 on October 25th. And then they'll play at Anaheim Friday. And these games are 9:30, and 9 o'clock.
Yep.
They'll have Saturday the 10th off. They go back to
St. Louis, yep.
for a Sunday game on the 11th, Veterans Day, at 2 o'clock.
And the LA Kings, which is their second game on this West Coast trip, they just fired their coach, John Stevens.
I saw that.
Yeah,
They let go some other assistants too.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, they really started out slow.
Yeah, they did.
And they got problems right now. Quick is down for at least, they're talking 6 weeks, if not more. So, I mean, they got problems when their number one goalie's down and oof.
Well, so far, I got to tell you, I'm impressed with this Wild team, and I know I was a little harsh and maybe.
I still don't believe in it because they got to show their Medicare card to get through the gate, you know. This is an old team.
Yeah, they're in second place of the Central Division, not too shabby, just behind Nashville. They've got a record going into the San Jose game, 8-3-2 with 13 points. And, there's a lot of veterans on this team, and I think that's kind of what's holding this group together. But that fourth line, my goodness.
Yeah.
They're playing well.
Brown and what's that, Fair?
Fair. Yeah,
That's
Eric
how you pronounce
Fair.
it. Okay.
And Patterin, and he's on defense, and Nick Seeler. And
Sealer getting his first goal.
now, when did Seeler play at Eden Prairie?
Why?
Was that the overtime, the multiple overtime victory over East? Was he on that team?
That would be 213.
Yeah, it was
pretty close.
It was a few years back.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah, we were all assembled at Amsoil Arena, and that's what happened. Eden Prairie beat the Greyhounds in multiple overtime. I think it was maybe it was overtime, but
it was triple overtime with Eden
was that what it was?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
In 2013. That sounds about right.
So that was his team.
Then he went down. He played juniors. Then he went to Omaha, and then he switched campuses. He went up to the Gophers, and from there, he got stronger and stronger. Worked out.
Well, that's my question to,
He's very
to you.
strong.
Watching him along his way, did you think he'd be not just a pro player, but an NHL player?
Not really, because I always thought he had an attitude. In high school, when he used to come up here when he was young, sophomore, junior, come up and play Duluth East and that, and you'd see him in the locker room area and mouthing off, and just, I thought, holy cow, this kid's...
Really?
Yeah, but...
Little dirty secrets on Nick Seeler.
Yeah, and then, but he worked his butt off, and then I'm hearing down in Omaha, he was the strongest kid on the campus there for the hockey team. And he was a tough kid. So then he came to Minnesota. And he's not really a scorer, but he does the defense stuff, what you're supposed to. So he got the fundamentals down.
Well, we won't see the Minnesota Wild in St. Paul until Tuesday, November 13th, Washington and the Wild. That's an FSN game. And, boy, this is going to be telling to see what they can do in California. San Jose...
Well, San Jose is one of the better teams.
Yeah.
LA Kings are having problems, so I don't know.
Hey, did I see that Thornton, is it Joe?
Forbert?
No, for San Jose, Joe Thornton, did he shave his beard?
Yeah.
He did.
Before the season started.
How about Brent Burns? Does he still look like a lumberjack?
Why? I don't think he shaved his.
Yeah, that's too bad.
He's trying to get his to go to the floor.
Well.
It's got some snakes in there,
If you're a guitar player in ZZ Top, it's
there you
okay.
go.
But he's not. He's an NHL player, and it's time to go. But yeah, Joe Thornton cut his beard. Good,
yeah.
Good.
I forget. I think it was. I don't know if it was a charity or what was the reason, or he made a bet. I can't remember.
Maybe he did it. Maybe he just got sick and tired of looking like an old man.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe his wife said something.
You think so?
That could happen too.
That'll get it done, Jer.
Yes, it will.
Oh, yes, it will.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so what else do we have? Minnesota Wilderness.
Well, they're trying to hang in there at the 500 level. I think they're one game behind 500. They split up in Bismarck this weekend. And let's see, who do they have coming up? Well, the Brookins comes in to Cloquet, so Friday and Saturday night.
This weekend?
Yeah, they'll be up at Cloquet playing.
All right.
But one of the teams in Minnesota, both the other two teams in juniors in the North American Hockey League, the Minnesota Magicians were up in Alaska, and they split with the Fairbanks, but that's one of the better teams in the league. And,
Magicians?
yes, and then Austin, that has Levi Stauber, Lane Krenzen.
Really?
Yeah,
They're
Duluth
down in
Marshall
Austin,
kids.
huh?
Yeah, and I think they got the best record in North American Hockey League.
Now, is this Austin, Texas?
Nope, it's Austin, Minnesota.
Okay.
Get the spam out.
There
boy.
you go. Aha.
Yep. So they get to eat a lot of spam.
Well, it's chock full of protein.
Right. And let's see, who other team? Austin split with Minot. There's a lot of good teams, and a lot of these teams have a lot of Minnesota kids too.
Boy, they got a lot of games under their belt already, don't they?
Yeah, they got 15 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. They start in September.
Yeah.
And the showcase, they get 4 in at the showcase, and that's the middle of September. A lot of the teams play the weekend before the showcase to get started. So, yeah, juniors get started a lot earlier than college.
Okay, so the UMD Bulldogs, the men, are going to be playing this weekend after having the last weekend off. Colorado College comes to Amsoil Arena, and a lot of us will be down there for the first time this season, if anything, to see a NCHC matchup, if you will. But the Gophers were here for one game, and then Maine was here for the weekend. I still have to get down there, Jerry. I got to try out some of these new menu items on the that they have for the fans this year.
Down at the Wild?
Down at Amsoil.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't been there yet?
I haven't. Well, they've only been here, again, Minnesota and Maine.
That's true.
And Minnesota was just the one game.
Well, get out of your recliner and get down there.
I know. I've got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of nice in the rankings on College Hockey Online that we got the 5 Minnesota teams. We got 3 in the top 3. UMD, St. Cloud, and Minnesota.
Amazing. That's pretty cool.
Then we got Minnesota out at 16 and Bemidji State, 22nd.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Well, you told me something prior to us even turning on the camera that there's 3 Minnesota teams in the top 5 or the top 10. And Minnesota's not one of them.
Yeah. Well, they're the top 3 teams, I mean, in the rankings.
Oh, they're the 1, 2, 3?
Yes, the 3 Minnesota teams. 1, 2, 3. UMD, St. Cloud State, and Minnesota State.
And the fact that Minnesota's not a part of that.
I'm just saying, 20 years ago,
yeah.
if you told me that, I'd
Yeah,
say you're
that is funny.
nuts. What
That
are
is funny.
you smoking?
Wow, that is funny. You've got options to listen to hockey on the radio now, KDAL, home of the Bulldogs. You can go to their website and listen now. They've got a button you can click on, listen to the hockey games. WDSM has the same feature. You can listen to Wild Hockey at WDSM's website. Jared, that's it. We want to thank the staff at PACT-TV, where this program is produced. And find us on the internet. We have a Facebook page. Find us there and like us. A YouTube page. We've got all of our content there. Minnesota Hockey Connection. Jerry does a good job putting all that content together. And Jerry, we'll be back here next week to drop the puck.
Yes, we will. And I'll have the high school rankings, my preseason rankings next Sunday, put on there, and we'll talk about it in our next show.
Well, awesome. We'll be back next week. See you then.